There's no such thing as a perfect time. Um, when it comes to shooting a video, like right now, when it comes to starting a business or walking up to someone that you're interested in, or when you're in a dance circle, like there's no perfect time to jump in. There's always going to be someone else that's about to jump in. There's always going to be something else going on. You can easily just wait for the perfect time and never jump in the circle, never jump in the fun, and the creative flow of things. Um, so yeah, same thing with this video. My camera that I brought with me, so that I can have the nice audio and whatever. Record the audio with my phone and then have a camera. Its battery is about to die. It's very likely that it's gonna die as this video is getting filmed. And I'll have to just figure it out. I'll maybe put some shots from my phone of like some birds or some other stuff in the park, whatever. I'll figure it out. But the point is, I came, I pressed record, and I showed up. So there is no perfect time, man. I mean, it's an obvious thing, and yeah, a lot of times we're waiting for the perfect time. We stop ourselves from creating because we're not good enough yet. We haven't learned enough skills yet. We don't have anything interesting to say. Whatever it is that you're doing, there's always some qualification in our mind that we haven't met, which doesn't allow us to start, whether we're too busy or whatever. And see, a lot of these things like are quite valid. They make sense in your mind. They're valid excuses, quote unquote. And what I'm saying isn't necessarily to force yourself to do the things that you want to do like right now, like do them right now. Because I do believe there is like a divine timing with everything. But having said that, at some point that first step is going to have to happen, and it's never going to feel certain or comfortable or even just like, I mean, sometimes it might, sometimes it might feel really comfortable and intuitive, and that's amazing. It kind of felt that way for starting these YouTube videos in a way, but it's not always going to feel that way. And sometimes you're going to have to push yourself a little bit. Um, and yeah, there's many things that help even, I think. Things like, developing stillness in your life so that you're not constantly consuming things, you're constantly being stimulated. Having that silence present in your life, at least as much as you can, really allows you to hear what your intuition is saying and allowing it to just unfold. You're kind of just there, like, yeah, you're doing the thing, but it's coming from somewhere else. That way it feels a lot easier than when you're overstimulated, you're probably overworked, you haven't rested enough because maybe all your free time you're spending it consuming and having your energy drained further than what already maybe drains you. So then taking a step forward into the unknown, towards your desires or something that's just curious to you, something that you've wanted to try for a long time, it's going to feel so much harder. It's going to feel like such a big push, and there's going to be that internal conflict. And sometimes in those situations, it is better to just rest. I do believe that. Things come in seasons, things come in waves. But the more you cultivate that stillness inside of you and that rested state and allowing yourself to have that silence and that time off from just the world and the thoughts and the stimulation, the more easier these steps are going to happen. Yeah, you're still going to have to step forward and do the thing that might not feel comfortable, you don't know how to do yet, you don't know how it's going to work out, but you just do it anyway. And it's going to feel so much easier when you do have that stillness there. So in that sense, there is no perfect time for anything, for starting a family, for starting a business, for whatever, like I said, for beginning your internal journey of self-growth or whatever. But there are things you can do to put yourself in a position where that step is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit less scary. Yeah, I'm in the park, but what's up? And in my situation, it's kind of interesting how it's unfolding because with these videos and then like me just making more music recently, which is something that I also do, I just feel like, yeah, just having less distractions helps a lot. And in my case, a lot of times going to university, where I also study music production, but going to university and doing all these different tasks, completing all these little tasks that make me feel somewhat productive, and definitely into the external world, I get validated as like, oh yeah, you're doing good, you're doing your coursework, you're doing your assignments for university, whatever. You're going to your dance classes, you're doing even like the internal to-do list that we have. A lot of times doing more is kind of just doing less, if that makes sense. And now I'm in a state where I'm off uni, so I don't have all these little assignments going on and whatever. I've given myself a bit of a break from dancing. Like, I've been going through the movement therapy stuff that I've signed up for. And yeah, I'm still dancing, but I'm not going full throttle right now. I can just feel that I just need a little bit of space. And suddenly, these videos are just coming out of me, which is super cool. Like, it's super cool how that works. You give yourself some space, you give yourself some rest and some stillness. Because in the beginning, I noticed, like, I was spending more time on my phone. I was spending more time just scrolling and consuming. But when you start being aware of that, little by little, putting your phone down. It might start with just like putting your phone down. Yeah, you'll pick it up again in 5 minutes, but then you realize again that you're on it, you put it down again, It's like a meditation. And it's these small steps. It could be that then leads to then you maybe cleaning up your room or whatever have you. Creating a space that's a little bit more, it just has more peace and it has more order. It has more, it just makes more sense. It feels more stable. It feels more grounded. And then who knows, a few days later, that might inspire you to make a song or pick up the guitar that you haven't picked up in a long time, or write a poem or draw or whatever it is that you like doing, but you've been neglecting or just you felt like you haven't had the time for it. These small steps of creating that space of stillness is going to create that creativity. It's going to, well, not create it, but it's just going to reveal it because it's all around us anyway. Life is creative. You're creative. Your cells in your body are super creative for everything that they do, all the healing that they do. You're already an insanely creative being. It's just we've overstimulated ourselves to the point where we can't hear, we can't feel it. And that a lot of times frustrates us. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny outside. I'm in the park. I just felt like I had to pull up and talk. And yeah, just even just setting that intention like an hour or 2 hours ago, ideas already started flowing. Already even me walking here, ideas started flowing. And sometimes I have to just be like, okay, chill, like stay present. Now you're just walking in the park. When it's time to record, that's when you're going to let it out. But just setting that intention already attracted things. Things already started coming in. I guess I was already kind of sensitive to what's going on internally, what wants to come out. So yeah, setting intentions, creating the space, creating the stillness, allowing yourself to be in a still, restful state. And then as soon as there's something, even if it doesn't feel like it's going to be something, just take the step. And then you have no idea where it's going to take you, Who knows? Like literally, who knows what you might be into? Who knows what you could offer to the world and to yourself? You have no idea. I have no idea, Now I'm filming a video. I go to dance classes. I make music. Maybe my next thing is going to be something completely different, Completely different. There's no way for me to know. And the more I put myself in this space, the more I feel like magic happens. And yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really think I need to keep going, I don't need to keep repeating the same thing. I feel like maybe you got the impulse. Maybe there's only one of you out there that in your timeline and where you are in life, this video makes sense. For everyone else, you could be like, yeah, like this makes sense, but I'm just in a different mode right now. And that's okay. I'm just a guy yapping, expressing myself. This makes sense for me right now. It might not make sense for you right now. You could be in a different season of your life. But there might be one of you. There might be one of you out there that it just kind of hits the spot. And you're like, you know what? Yeah. And you know what? You don't have to stress about it because if it's really that time, there's going to be further signs that push you in that direction. I guess just remain open. Love yourself. Create that space of stillness. I think that's probably the thing I've repeated the most in this video, but it's so important in today's world because we are so overstimulated. So if anything, removing things from your life, removing information, removing stimulation, consumption, like as you take that stuff away, the things that need to bloom, they're just going to bloom. You can't have like a beautiful rose bloom somewhere where it's just full of other shit, you know, full of other thorns, other invasive species in the soil. Like a flower will probably struggle blooming there. But then as soon as you remove some of that, you clean it up a little bit, you create that space. Oh, now there's space to breathe. Oh, now the water comes in and it just fuels that soil, and then it's just gonna bloom by itself. You don't even have to force it. But there is no perfect time to start that process, you know? Like the idea, and when the intuition comes and when you're in the space to receive it, it's gonna make so much sense that it's almost gonna happen by itself sometimes. But you creating the space and starting to alleviate these things that are blocking you, it might not always feel so intuitive, you know? Because we get comfortable with that stuff. It just becomes our normal. So there's no perfect time. Stillness is everything with creativity. Remove the unnecessary activity, the unnecessary noise, and the beautiful things that maybe you desire, they're gonna come by themselves. And they might surprise you in what form they come, but you're gonna be so open that you're just gonna go with it. So I think that's what I have to say, and I think maybe that's where I'm at. I don't know, man. I'm just a guy. I don't really know shit. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I love this YouTube stuff, expressing stuff. We'll see where it takes us. That's it. Peace.